Welcome to Secure Money Mindset, the ultimate podcast for financial planning tips and strategies. Our episodes are designed to be concise and to the point, lasting no more than 30 minutes. Each episode features seasoned advisors from Secure Planning Group or an outside financial specialist discussing crucial issues and providing actions to consider when addressing your top financial concerns. We value honesty and transparency, meaning we present both the good and the bad news in a clear and concise manner. Our goal is to provide you with reliable insights and practical guidance. Be sure to hit the follow button to stay up to date with our latest episodes. For more information, please visit our website at securepg.net. Let's dive into this week's episode of Secure Money Mindset.
Hey everyone, Alison Pettine, financial advisor with Secure Planning Group, joining you guys today for another awesome episode of Secure Money Mindset. And today I'm joining you actually from maternity leave. I had the blessing of having my second child, my second daughter. Her name is Callie Quinn, and just been really soaking up all of the love from her and just enjoying our time together. And so it's been just a really good time to reflect on, one, being a female financial advisor and the importance that is in educating others about money, but most importantly women and other women, and educating my daughter, and also the importance of trying to balance everything and thinking about finances as a mom and as a financial advisor, and all the things that go into that. So what do you need to be thinking about? And what do I think about, at least as a female financial advisor and somebody that has and is going through maternity leave? What do I think about money and trying to balance it all? And the honest answer is that it's very challenging to try to balance it all. Even in this video, I have major bags under my eyes, trying to take care of my daughter, still support all of my clients and my family and friends. And at the end of the day, it is very challenging. And the concept of work-life balance is a concept that's talked about a lot, but it's very hard to manage, right? So my feeling of it is that sometimes work's going really well, or you're spending a lot more time at work, and then you might not be able to spend much time with your family, and vice versa. So it's something that's ever flowing and ever changing, and that journey will continue to flow and change over time, especially as my kids get older, and my career changes. So the work-life balance piece is definitely hard, and I know I've talked to a lot of other women about that, as well as it's just something that we're always trying to seek and find that balance. So that's the first thing I would say about the work-life balance part. As it relates to motherhood and looking at finances from the financial advisor lens, and within my own personal home, second kid just brings a reevaluation of financial goals, meaning thinking about her education goals in addition to my first daughter, Zoe, and how to plan for that and how to properly put away money so that she can afford to go to college, because college right now is very expensive. And so my husband and I have definitely taken some time to sit down and think about how to support Callie in her educational journey as well. And I would say that although you might be tired and don't want to take the time to sit down with your significant other and have those discussions, it's really important. And it's really important to do it early on rather than waiting until they're 16 years old. College is, 1 to 2 years away to start putting money away and having those discussions. So as sometimes painful as it might be or can be, or as tired as you are, clearly with bags under my eyes, it's definitely very important. The other thing I would say about looking at financial goals and education, and not specifically education, but is just, again, the budgeting piece. I know that the B word, as I like to call it and others call it, is not a topic that people like to talk about. And as a mom and balancing a career and family, and things are just expensive now with having one kid and now having 2 kids, thinking about the cost of education, as I just hit on, thinking about the cost of daycare, that's expensive. And then you layer in clothing and food and all of the things that kids need, and you realize how expensive, one, we are as adults, but also that these kids are very expensive. So taking the time, again, to sit down with your spouse, or you create a budget and your spouse creates a budget, and then you reflect on it together. And I'm not saying it's a fun exercise, because it's definitely not, but it's something that's really important and something that you want to do now. And then you're going to have to go back to that budget and reflect on that budget and make changes to it over time, as things do change in your financial life. So that's something that I highly suggest and highly recommend that you do. The other thing is estate planning. And I don't mean to kind of go all over the place. We talked about education costs, we talked about budgeting, but having a new child, estate planning was definitely something that was top of mind for me. I ended up personally redoing my estate planning, and it's always something that I recommend to people as they have kids and as they have life changes, because you don't want to be doing your estate plan when it's too late. So it's something that might not be fun again, but something that's super important to get done. I always suggest to my clients and my friends that, I have a great Rolodex of estate planners that I know of. If they would like an introduction, or if they have somebody that they love and they want to use, then that's amazing. But at the end of the day, it's very important just to have those documents done and filed. And if you need to make changes along the way, then that's totally fine. You can make changes along the way, but definitely get it done. And then the other thing that I do want to hit on is the importance of financial independence as a mother and as a woman. I know that over my 15, 16-year career, I've seen women getting stronger and getting more powerful and knowledgeable as it relates to their finances. And that's been so amazing to see that live and see that with the clients that I work with personally, and see that every time I do an educational workshop, the questions that women are asking, and men, right, of course, but this importance of financial education and the importance of women having that financial independence and financial knowledge is just paramount. And that's one of the key things that I would highlight to you if you're a woman and you're listening to this podcast, is that it's just so important to be educated on finances in general, and also educated on your own finances. Be educated on your own financial picture, because you want to understand it for yourself, and you also want to understand it for your family and for your children, and know all of the impacts. God forbid something happens tomorrow. God forbid you could become disabled. You want to know that everything's taken care of and you understand it. So, highly recommend financial independence and financial literacy. Being a woman or a man doesn't necessarily mean this just goes out to women, but again, as a female advisor, 2 daughters, Women's History Month, kind of talking a little bit more to the women that are listening to this podcast and to the audience. So, in summary, as a new mom with the bags under my eyes, being pretty tired here, but again, it's just so important to make sure that you're taking care of your family. If that's something that's important to you, it's important to me. Trying to balance everything. We know that's a struggle, but we got to do it. We got to look at our budget. We got to look at our educational goals. We got to look at the financial goals that we have for our family and how we're going to get there. We got to look at the protection piece with the estate planning. And we got to sit down with our significant other or your support system and figure out how we're going to do it and what's our journey to get there. And last but not least, just being financially educated yourself and about your financial plan. And it's just so important to do that and also have a support system around you, a team that can support you in that journey, whether if it's a financial advisor or a CPA or an estate planning attorney or whoever you're using that you feel is going to guide you the best in your financial journey. I highly recommend that you do that. And that's what I would suggest to my daughters. So whether it's a male, female, support team, advisor, whomever they decide to use, I hope that they would seek guidance from that person, but also get educated themselves and understand their financial picture and how they can continue to improve on their financial goals. So I know I hit on a lot today, but again, for Women's History Month, all super important to be hitting on this information. And again, as a new mom of a daughter with the bags under my eyes, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to that continued education for yourself. And I hope that this was hope you could take some nuggets away from this podcast. So thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to you soon.